Last part is you just flow. You just flow. What does this mean? You just flow. You just flow. You just be. You just be. That's all. In every moment, you just be. You say, Bruce Lee says, be like water. Be like water. Just flow. Just flow like water. Okay? By the way, water likes to always be flowing. Likes to always be flowing. Water doesn't like to be still. Any people in this room looked at Dr. Emoto's work before? Dr. Emoto's work? Water is life. Water is life. A lot of people aren't aware that water is life. Water in these bottles, this is dead water until you wake it up. Now, some of you, how many of you totally not aware of what I'm talking about? Like, don't know what I'm, okay, so a very basic understanding of water. Water is life. Water is life. We are mostly water, right? So actually the quality of water we drink is very, very important because, and you're thinking, what type of quality? You mean filtered water, Evian water, or water? The quality of water, meaning what type of emotions, what type of life that water is carrying, right? Meaning whether it's happy water, or unhappy water, angry water. Okay? How many of you not quite sure what I'm talking about here? Okay? So I'm just going to just leave it very, very simple here. Basically, if you haven't checked out, check out Dr. Emoto's work. It's really, really cool. Basically, what he did was he took he can take 2 glasses of water, put 1 glass of water into a room where everybody's shouting, screaming, swearing at it and stuff. He takes another glass of water, he puts it into a room, everybody just love, happiness, smile, love, just feeling of joy. And then he takes 2 glasses of water, then he freezes the 2 glasses. Then he takes the 2 frozen, the ice, and then what he does is he puts it under a microscope, and then he sees the crystals. So from the angry room, what he sees is chaos. It's just all shattered, it's chaos. And then from the other room, it's beautiful crystals. They're thinking, no way in hell, how does that work, right? I don't know, and I don't really need to know. I just know that it does work. In fact, at one of our events, we do a water ceremony. It's really, really cool. The water ceremony, anybody done a water ceremony before? Really, really cool. We do a water ceremony, and during that water ceremony, what we do is we just all, after a few days, we're all at peace. Everything's beautiful, and we just send love vibration to the water. And then what we do is we take the water, we actually take it, there's a lab actually here in the UK, Emoto lab, so we send it over there, and then they actually get the crystals, and then they show us the printout of our crystal that we created. Yeah, from that setting, and it's so beautiful. And you think, what really is that possible? If I just took a random bottle right now and did it, it would just be chaos. Because water doesn't like to be still, like trapped into a bottle. It likes to be moving, right? It likes to be moving, because that's life. And think about that for a second. If it's still, it's dead water, or it's not very happy water, and you're drinking it, that means dead water equals dead you. Because you are mostly water. So that's why when you drink life water, then suddenly you're just alive. And you feel so good, everything's great. Right? There's a lot of other components as part of it, but obviously if you want to learn more components, you know what to do. So, not that I wouldn't tell you, it's just I haven't got enough time right now. So water is life. It likes to always be moving. Everything likes to be moving. Energy always likes to be moving. You need to always be moving. Always be moving forward. Always be going. Right? Now you're thinking, okay, so during this whole flow process, then what do I do? What am I doing when I'm flowing? Am I just like walking around like this every single day flowing? You know, what do I do? Very, very simple. I just be in every single moment. When I be in every single moment, what happens is someone will say, Sonia will say, hey, would you like to do this? Like, and if it feels, there's only 2 things that can happen really while I'm being and flowing. It feels right, or it doesn't feel right. That's all. And I just trust. It's just a feeling. Now you think, what do you mean it feels right? Like what part, like what do you mean feels right? And I said this on day one, it's really interesting because a lot of science people will be very against it. Like, what are you talking about, right? I don't believe in that stuff. Everything's science, everything needs to be logical. And I always say that people like that, you question them, say to people like that, say, most of your decisions, how do you make them? They will, do you make them on gut feeling or logic? Most people make decisions, even the scientists make decisions based on gut feeling. I don't know, it just felt right, I just did it. Oh, I thought you were more logical than that. And then if you, it just felt right, right? So where did that feeling come from? Ask them, where did the gut feeling come from? My brain. Your brain's the logic, right? Where does that feeling come from? And so when it feels right, it's right. But then what will happen is, so that you've got two things here happening. You've got the gut feeling, and then you've got the mind. The mind is there to protect you. So that's the conflict you have every single day. It feels right. Oh, but what if? But what if? But what if? That's there to protect you. But it feels right. But what if? And then what happens is this thing takes over. But what if you listen to this? You're like, no, not logical. No, I listen to this. And the moment you listen to this, boom, that, I'll say portal right now, that portal has closed, it's gone. That opportunity is gone. That energy, the energy flow, where are you supposed to flow to? How are you what is following your heart? What is following your gut? What is following God? There's an interesting story of some guy was asking, how do I know, when God is speaking to me? How do I know that it's definitely good, whatever he's saying? How do I know it's good? And then what was interesting was the guy who answered said, well, actually, if you understand this, understand that between God and good is nothing. Between God and good is nothing. What does that mean? It means that if it's doing good, it means that if it feels good and it's doing good, and it's good for people, it's good for serving, it's good for everything, that is God. That is God. Wherever is good, that is God. That is your calling. It feels right, it seems right, you're doing something that is serving. That is the calling. That is what you trust in. And so, what do? You flow. You have these two things. So you flow. Then somebody says, "Hey, would you like to do this?" It feels right. I just say yes. Before my mind even starts entertaining. But what if? But what? Don't just yes. If it doesn't feel right, like, well, why would I do that? Like, no. If it feels right, it usually is. So. How do we work this? Very, very simple. Okay? When we are flowing, we are going to everything that we know is for the greater good. It's going to help somebody, it's going to serve somebody, it's going to make a difference to somebody's life, whether it's just even a smile. Right? By the way, the power of a smile is incredible. You don't know the effect that it can have on people. You don't know that effect that keeps going for days, if not months, if not years, that keeps going just because you made that smile today. You go to Starbucks, you buy a coffee, and you just because you say, it's beautiful today. And just that smile alone, then what happens to them? It brightens up their day. They speak to their manager in a nicer way. Their manager gives them a promotion for whatever reason. They get a promotion, they go home, they tell mom, who they were arguing with for a long time. Mom's now finally happy. Then mom's happy with dad. Everything just keeps going, it keeps going, it keeps going. For miles and miles and miles, it keeps going. Just because you practiced kindness in that moment. And I want you to understand the amount of impact these little things that you think is little right now does. And so, what do I do in every moment? Very simple. All I do is I just practice kindness, I practice serving, I just keep practicing being in this moment, seeing what is needed of me right now. And how can I serve? How can I help? Just to brighten up their day a little bit, because I know the amount of impact it could possibly make. But I don't need to take any credit for it. I have no expectations for any return. I don't need to have that return. Why do I need to have that? Because I know that what I give out will always come back. That's a trust. That's a trust there. And so, throughout this time, what will happen is there's only two things that can come your way. One is a positive thing. Okay? So a positive person comes into your life, says, oh, let me build your website for you. Right? Your mind will be like, oh, they're trying to sell to me. Right? Say, okay, accept, just say, so how does it work? How do you want to do it? They say, I'll do it for you for free. Most people who aren't good receivers will be, no, you can't do that. But I'll be like, wow, accept. When positive things come my way, what do? I just say, yes, okay, thank you. I say thank you. I practice kindness. I say thank you. Anybody who has something to give, I say thank you. Because where does that come from? That comes from wherever your actions come from. It comes from wherever your thoughts come from. It comes from something that's greater than us. That is someone answering to you, or something answering to you, if you wish. You are manifesting, trying to manifest things. You are trying to pray for things. And then it's answering to you every single day. Yet your mind is talking you out of it. Oh no, you can't do that. You can't do that. This is a big learning for me, by the way. Any big givers but not so good receivers, and you know it in this room, right? That's it. If you can't receive, you can't give. You don't have the capacity to give. The more you receive, the more you have to give. And I learned this through my upbringing, because when I was this happens in a lot of Chinese families. I was brought up, mom and dad, really interesting. We go to eat Chinese restaurants, right? What will happen is we'll eat, and then we eat with some family members or some friends, and then they'll be all like, no, don't pay, don't, I got it, let me pay. They fight, and they say, no, let me pay, no, let me pay, right? So then my mom and dad will always win. Just say, no, I'll pay. It's really funny because I needed to get involved a lot as a kid growing up. I'm like 7 years old, 8 years old, and this is what happens, because it came to a point where they can't, it's like, think about it, a group of adults fighting each other to pay, and then they kind of like fighting each other all the way to the till, right? Just fighting all the way to the till. And so that didn't work anymore, because sometimes they would lose that fight, right? So what happened was then it became more sneaky. So we sit at the table and just be, Eric, go pay the bill. I'll pay the bill. So as a 6, 7-year-old, I'm just like, what? What do you want me to do? He's like, just go. I say, okay. I said, but they're going to see me. He's like, no, just say you're going to the toilet. I said, okay. Uncle, auntie, I'm going to the toilet. Okay. And I just go pay the bill. And at the end, it's just like, oh, you paid. It's every day it'll be like that, right? Every day it'll be like that. And what was really interesting was this. One day, my mom's laughing at it now. And one day, what was interesting is I sit in the car, little Eric, 10, 11-year-old Eric, sitting in the car. And then I'm in the back of the car, mom and dad are at the front. And then I see my mom and dad, they've never let anyone pay. In fact, when they see friends or family on another table who just arrived, they'll say, I'll pay for their bill too, right? It's always that way. So that's why, I mean, if those of you who've seen my interview with Mum on Mother's Day on my Facebook, that's what she's talking about. She says that, I've just always taught Eric to give. It's all about giving. It's all about giving, right? And so that's how I grew up. I grew up in that environment. Giving. It's all about giving. They always say you have to be nice to people, treat people nice, give to people. And then one day there's this. I was in the car, back of the car. They were driving along. Then Mum and Dad were a little bit of moaning, going, oh, that whatever, he just never pays for bills, does he? Whatever. And then just like complaining to yeah. So like, so tight, and that's how they are, and then, it's like that other person as well, don't worry. I'm sitting in the back, I'm saying, like, every time they want to pay, you don't let them pay. This is an interesting thing. And I had this observation from a young kid, and I was like, this is interesting. These adults. So funny. Right? Then some people are like that, right? Some people are just give, and then they like complain about things not happening for them and stuff. And this is what I was talking about the other day with the God will save me. God's sending you so many boats every single day, you idiot, It's like, you just don't see it because you're not there to receive. So there's only a couple of things that can happen. Number one is positive. When positive, what do? I just open my arms and say thank you. Think about this for a second, by the way. The sixth human need, according to human needs psychology, is the need for contribution, right? When we are contributing, how many of you, sometimes you contribute, when you help somebody else, it's more happier than when you help yourself? How many of you know what I'm talking about? Okay, so who's happy at that time? You or the other person? You, because you gave. You satisfied your need for contribution. Now think about this for a second. When you start understanding psychology, how this works, I used to do this a lot when I was traveling. This was just like 4 or 5 years ago. I used to go to places, exhibitions and stuff like that. Carrying my suitcase and stuff, and there's some helpers, especially out in China, very, very friendly. They come, Eric, I'll help you with your stuff, right? I used to say, no, it's okay, I'll walk, right? Now just think, if I enter into a building, somebody's like, right, really wants us to see Eric, right, for a long time, finally see him, and they say, Eric, let me help you. It's okay, don't worry, I got it. Now, what I'm thinking at that moment is I'm thinking, no, I don't need your help. Just chill, just rest, just be happy, right? That's what I'm thinking. I feel like I'm contributing. Just you chill, right? Now think about what this poor guy's thinking. The poor guy's like, okay. Emptiness. True. Now that's why a lot of the times now when I travel somewhere, I go into new seminar hall, whoever there, Mr. Hall, I'll carry that for you. I'll be like, all I'll do is I'll just look back. I'll just give it to them. I'll just say, thank you so much. I really appreciate this. Just keep walking. Now how do they feel? They feel amazing. Be kind. Allow other people to satisfy their need for contribution. If you have that need, how do you think other people don't have that need? Everybody has that need. Right? You can't say no to things that are coming to you and helping. You can't, opportunities, things that are, you can't say no. Why would you block all this off? Accept, just say thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Be kind. Practice kindness. And then you have the other side, where you do sometimes have these negative things. Some people will come, just something, whatever they say, right? Whatever they say, just not very pleasant. It just comes out. I don't know what you do in those moments. Let me tell you what you do. You don't react. You don't fight. The moment you react, you are fighting. You are starting that fight. You know, again, nature has it. What you fight will always come back. What you fight will always come back. And what you fight will always come back greater. What you fight will always come back greater than what you put out. And it will get bigger and bigger and bigger. Fighting doesn't work. You don't need to fight. The moment you react, you fight. You're starting that fight. So what can you practice? You can practice kindness again. Right? Wayne Dyer says, if you ever have the choice to be right or to be kind, always choose to be kind. Always choose to be kind. So does that mean somebody says, Eric, that doesn't actually, you know what was really interesting? I did this exact same talk. This was about 5 months ago, out in Malaysia. This guy in the front row. Oh, so funny. I said, what you fight always comes back. I said, don't fight. There's nothing. There's no need to fight. Just practice kindness. You don't need to fight. In every situation, just do not need to react. Then it's so funny. He stood up and he said, Eric, you have to fight sometimes. And I said to him, you're right. And then he had nothing to say. Then he sat back down. The whole crowd was like, said, thank you. Challenge me if you wish. Challenge me, because you are always right. And always know that you are always right. You are. Because I don't have a need to be right. And that's why it was interesting, because yesterday I was teaching objection handling. This is what I learned when in my first speaking days, just in case, you know. So at least I have a weapon behind me. But in reality, in today's world, it can't happen anymore. It's impossible. You'll say, Eric, that system doesn't work. You're right. What? You're right. If you think it doesn't work, you're obviously right. It's fine, Anyway, let's carry on, right? Just let it pass. So how do you be like water? Very simple. Something comes in and it starts a fight. What you do is you let it pass. You let it pass. Be like water. Be flexible. Let it pass. You think water is the softest thing? Water is the hardest thing. Water is flexible. Water penetrates through rock. Water always finds its path. So how do you be like water? Very simple. Things come in, they fight, they attack. What do? Let it pass. It's okay. Sorry for upsetting you. Really sorry for upsetting you. Let it pass. Let it go. Now you're thinking, but Eric, you can't always just let it go. Of course you can. Just let it go. Take a deep breath in. And out. Some of you will be thinking, no, but Eric, you don't understand. I'm so macho, I'll fight, I'll beat anything down. Seriously. It won't come back. You think what you fight always comes back. Now some of you will be thinking, okay, so now he's talking about karma. Okay. If you wish, if you want to call it that, that's cool too, right? But how I look at it is very, very simple. Everything you fight will always come back. Not meaning that it has to come back in the same form, but it can come back in a different form. Now you're thinking, what does that mean? Come back in a different form? It means that if I beat this guy up, then he's going to come back as a butterfly, Butterfly attack me. Ah! Maybe. The reality of it is this. Okay, what's your name, sir? James. Let's say we take James. Okay. Let's say he fights, he comes, pushes me. Let's say I push him back. Right? I push him back, he pushes me again. Let's say I start punching him. Okay? Let's say he pushes me again. I'm thinking, you know what? I'm going to beat the hell out of you. Right? I'm going to fight. I beat the hell out of him. Right? And now I think that, you see, you're down. I told you. Told you not to mess with me. Now he's down. I think, I've got it. I've won. You think you've won. When you fight, you never win. You think you've won. You beat him down, you think you've won. What you've done, in fact, okay, there's two sides of this, by the way. What you've done is you've created a new version of yourself. Think about this for a second, right? If James is the biggest guy I've fought down right now, does that change my confidence? Does that change my ego? Did I just feed my ego there? Now, next time I see a bigger guy, do I feel more confident? Yes or no? Right? Now, will I attack faster next time? Will I be more confident to attack? Yes or no? Of course, because I created a new version of it. I've done it before. I've seen this before. I attack. I attack more and more. In fact, I will get a throat because the more you feed that ego, the more it grows, the more powerful it gets, and it takes over you. So then what will happen? I keep seeing, do you think I can beat them all? It'll just be a matter of time. I let this ego grow, grow, grow. I feed the ego. And it's just a matter of time where I'll be beaten down. And then there's another side of it, which would be, I think, beat him down, yeah, I got him. I don't know who his partner is. I don't know who his partner's friend is. I don't know who his friend who is watching is. I don't know who they know. I don't know who he's going to tell. I don't know what's going to happen. It could be a load of things. He could tell someone to go do something else. They could sabotage my business, whatever. Anything can happen. There's loads of different angles this can come back. Can you see what I'm seeing? And explaining this in the most logical way for you right now. In the most logical way. Whatever you fight, always come back. That's why, today it's really interesting. Science, medical, they always talking about fighting cancers, fighting this, fighting that, fighting all this stuff. Fighting doesn't work. I don't know if you realize this. They fight viruses. They create stuff to fight viruses. I don't know if you realize this. Sometimes viruses, yes, they fought off the virus. Then what happens? Next year there's a new virus that comes out. Nature has it. Our body shows this. Our body creates antibodies. It will always fight back. Whatever you fight, fights back. So then new things are designed. New viruses come. Stronger viruses than before come. And then now we need to fight those. And that's why it's in today's world, Chinese medicine is getting more and more popular. Because Chinese medicine isn't about fighting. Chinese medicine is about prevention. The prevention of this stuff. It's about being able to at least create this nice environment so that it doesn't grow there. Fighting, there's no part of fighting in this world that works. And some of you will be thinking, wow, this is like crazy, but surely sometimes you need to fight, you know? I really, and like, I mean, I don't think you need to challenge me to this, but nothing can upset me. Nothing can make me angry. Nothing can make me fight. You try all you like to pick a fight with me. It just never works. And some people are like, wow, that's amazing. How do you do that? And wow, Eric, let me tell you something, okay? And I don't think I've ever spoken of this with my mum in the room either. My dad used to be a gangster, right? Now, understand what type of alpha male that is, right? So I was brought up in that. That was always my idol. I used to get into a lot of fights. I used to love fighting. I get a thrill from fighting. I get a thrill from beating people down. You know, that was me. That's why there's some, you know, and at this point, why, you know, I've never spoken of this before, and I believe that I'm not choosing to speak about this, it just came out. I don't know why it just came out at this moment, because I believe somebody in this room needs to hear this right now. Because what I want to say is this: a lot of things that you think has happened to you in your life, or a lot of the things that you think, oh, why has life been this way? Or why did I used to be? You're living in the past. Why did I used to be this way? Or why did this happen? Why did that happen? Right? Everything happens for a reason. But it depends how you look at it. When I look at it now, that had to happen for me to be able to share this message today. If I was just born calm, I don't think I've got anything to share with you today, you know? It's like, I don't know, you just be. But the reason why I can logically explain all of this is because I've been through this whole process. Everything that you've been through was there for a reason. It depends how you use that reason now as an empowering role, to be able to serve the greater good, to be able to serve other people, to be able to impact people's lives, make a difference. And so, like I said, living life is simple. Just be. Flow in every moment. Two things happen, something comes. It attacks. Let it pass. It's okay. Let it pass. Another thing comes. It comes to help. Open your arms up. Thank you so much. Thank you. Be kind. Both ways, be kind. There's another thing comes to attack. Sorry. Thank you. Let it pass. Something good comes, just open your arms. I'm taking it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Live in every moment. Serve in every moment. Grab every opportunity in every moment. And just practice kindness. That's all it is. We'll take questions at the end. And I think on that note, we are done.